It is time for you to start learning basic survival needs. I'm not talking about the developmental stuff. Okay, you went from crawling, now you can walk. You were babbling, now you can talk. Look at that, I'm rhyming. This is not a game, this is not a drill. When I say it's time for you to start learning survival needs, I mean it. I mean, like, learning how to grow your own food, learning self defense, learning how to fish. Like, all of these basic survival needs that you need because of the state of the world. I'm not saying this to put you in any kind of fear. Don't fear. I'm not saying tomorrow something's gonna happen and you're not prepared. I'm just saying, just in case something were to happen, you will be prepared. Because I've talked about this before, but we have recall after recall on the food. They've talked about putting vaccines in the foods. So now your human rights are being, which they have been for a while, they're being threatened. You will be vaccinated without knowing. You will be tested on without you even physically knowing that you're being tested on. So start learning these basic needs, because little things like a civil war could break out. An actual war could break out. Just the access to food, to necessities, can be hindered from you, can be taken away from you. Even when it comes to the changing of currency, I knew as soon as I saw the president buy $1 billion in Bitcoin, I was like, they trying to get rid of paper money. They trying to get rid of paper money. So I need you to be prepared, especially when it comes to this digital ID stuff. If you do not have a digital ID, they will not even allow you to work in certain countries, in certain fields. That is the direction of the world that we're going in. I'm not saying to always pay attention to the news, because a lot of the times the news is fear-mongering, but at least be conscious enough of the real world issues that are going on so that you can be prepared. Because there was a point in time where, in the beginning days, and especially, let's talk about more recently, when segregation was a thing. So when segregation happened, our community, we had our own doctors, our own grocery stores, our own schools. We had our own stuff, but then things began to become integrated. And if we're speaking in times before capitalism, before things were capitalized on, like food and water and health, you did those things yourself. So if you were sick, guess what you did? You went outside and you picked some herbs and you helped heal yourself. You helped heal your child. You helped heal your mom, your dad. If you needed food, you had to make sure you were growing and harvesting during the right seasons. You knew what plants grew well in the summertime, what plants grew well in the wintertime, so that you had enough food to suffice you during cold months, summer months, all these things. If you needed to learn, you taught at home. When things began to be capitalized on, when grocery stores became a thing, when public schools became a thing, or private schools became a thing, when hospitals became a thing, all of these things have been created, not saying that it hasn't helped you, but to have you depend more on other institutions versus the self. You don't know how to do basic needs anymore that your ancestors may have known how to do. Now if you get sick, okay, your first instinct is to go to urgent care. You don't think, okay, well, God put all these plants on the earth, and everything I need, from food and water to medicinal needs, is right here for me to use. If I need to learn, if I need to go to school, I have books, I can research, I can learn for myself. But your dependence has made you think, okay, if the grocery stores run out of food, what are you going to do? Think of any time when there has been, like, even let's talk about COVID. Anytime during COVID, when you went to the store, what was out the most? Toilet paper. There was no toilet paper. Because I don't know, for some reason, people's instinct was, okay, we got to get all the toilet paper. I don't know why that was people's first instinct, but your dependence on something that you need, a necessity, has caused you to freak out and go grab everything from the store. Food. If the stores run out of food, if the stores run out of medicine, what are you going to do? What's going to be your first instinct? Because your first instinct of now that you're in survival mode, your survival mode is just working your 9 to 5. Your survival mode is not, okay, if things go wrong, what am I going to eat? What am I going to drink? How am I going to heal myself? How am I going to survive if something goes wrong? So it's time to start learning basic survival needs again. Learn how to garden, learn how to fish, learn how to use medicinal herbs to heal yourself. Learn how self-defense. I'm literally taking jiu-jitsu class tomorrow, okay? I will be learning how to fire an arm. Fire an arm? You know what I mean. You know what I mean. I shouldn't have to tell you that. Fire a weapon. Okay, there we go. These things are important. I know you've seen that movie Civil War, produced by A24. If you haven't, go watch it. But these are things that I'm just talking about. These things are important. Just in case. Just in case. Because just in case something like that movie happens, you don't look dumb. Not dumb, but you're not freaking out. Because people's first instinct if something happens is to freak out. So in the case when something happens where people are freaking the F out, you are prepared in case you need to. Survival kits, first aid kits, all of these things, because it's important no matter what. You need to learn the basic needs of survival. Look at Amish people. They don't even use cell phones. They live off the land. And honestly, that's like a great example to look at if you want to learn how to survive, because they've never changed their way of living. Even when technology came into place, they never changed the way of living. The only people that integrated into the technology was our ancestors. Literally was our ancestors. They said, okay, well, there's grocery stores now, so I don't have to grow my own food. Let's go buy it. They said, okay, well, I don't have to heal myself. I can just go to a doctor. Well, I don't have to homeschool the kids anymore. I can just send them to school. So, basic needs of survival are very, very important. And this is a short message, short video. Civil War, watch it. There's a lot of freaking movies out there, but those are the ones. That's the one. That is the one. Love you.